Hi and good morning to the audience. So, our hot topic today is bias in leadership. My main focus in this topic is especially in workplace. So, bias in the workplace is a form of tribalism. You're either in or you're out. I get this quote from Hannah Hasselkeshner, who is a writer for a book called Seeking Fairness at Work, Cracking the Code of Greater Employee Engagement, Retention and Satisfaction. I think this quote need to be paid attention more. Why? So imagine you have been in a company for a long time, maybe around 5 or 6 years, and you work very very hard and you rarely make mistakes and you learn from it, but you didn't get any promotions and you get even offered one. So at first you thought, okay, maybe this company is strict, so maybe it's very hard to get promotions, so you just continue to hard. But one day you found out that a younger employee with less experience than you get a promotions just because she has a good relationship with the boss. Imagine how unfair is that. So while researching this topic, I tried to put myself in the shoe of an employee. So I imagine myself in the workplace. So I did my work very very well. I did my work well with minimum error. And I didn't get any promotions. I would be fuming since I did my best but I didn't get what I deserve. That's why I want to talk about this topic. I want to spread awareness about the bias in the workplace for justice in workplace environment. Why? Because bias in workplace is not a very healthy environment that exists mostly in companies, since it can cause halo effect. What is halo effect? Halo effect is cognitive attribution bias involving the unfounded application of general judgment to a specific trait. So what is mean? In this case, the judgment is towards the employee that have a good relationship. Most leader see the employee that have a very good relationship with them has a very talented and very much skill, but in reality that's not really the case. So I will explain how bias develops in leadership and discuss its harmful effects and propose solutions to resolve bias and build inclusiveness. So let's begin our discussion. First, we need to find how bias forms and influence the decision of leaders. So most leaders we see these days will favor the employees that are very close to them. This is like halo effect. So they assume the employees that have a very good relationship with them is very talented and has skill enough. But imagine how there is other employee that is more talented, that is more hardworking, but he didn't get any time to build relationship with the leader. End up the leader make decision solely based on the favorite employee and ignore other employees, especially the hardworking one. Imagine how unfair is that. So I'll give you an example in the real. So when Israel demanding resources from US will easily give them even a missile, even a weapon to destroy lives. But when other country demand any resources for better reason, they hardly give them. So this is pretty much a great example of bias, since the US buys to Israel, so they give more to Israel but less to the other, while the other country have a better reason Maybe this is not directly like a workplace, but this is how much or pretty much the bias works. So we can apply it in workplace. So that we understand the problem, so we know how bias affect the decision of leaders. So we need to see how can affect the company or an organization. So imagine a low quality employee get promotions and given chance. You will see the company maybe it will collapse or maybe lower progress. So that will affect the image of the company. I'll give you an example. Under Sir Philip Green ownership, the business accumulated £1.3 billion in debt, including £571 million pension shortfall. So this proves when a less quality leader is appointed, it will be the worst cases. The company will bankrupt. If I give an example for Israel, that the world will collapse since the US, which is so-called leader, will give permission to Israel and destroy the world. This does not give a better future for the entire world. So we identified the problem. So we need to find the solution to this problem. So for starters, a leader that fairly treats their employees must be elected in order to start or build company. So what I suggest is every company should, maybe before starting company, should appoint a leader that is talented and very fair and has a good integrity. For example, Apple company announced that racial equity and justice initiative has surpassed $200 million in investment since it was introduced in 2020. The initiative provided economic empowerment, education, as well as criminal justice to reform work for minority businesses. So it shows that Apple can operate this fairly to all their employees. So after discussing these points, there is a clear importance of leadership training for a company in order to provide a healthy work environment to avoid these biases. Every new company must elect a better leader that is not biased to any employees due to good relationship or any other factors. And the existing company must provide any training due to this particular leadership issue to the employees to ensure the future of their company. So in conclusion, real leadership is treating your least favorite employee the same as your favorite. A good leader should hold on to this quote in their leadership.